So is it going to be like that old Mission Impossible? You know, here's your mission if you want to ding, 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 ding. Used to have like a little tape recorder and it would come round. It would only play once, and they must have had some acid or something in it. But I'm not too sure. You kind of do it with a CD because like CDs is old hat now. You'd have to do it with like an Instagram message or something, wouldn't you? His mission would come through on the Insta. It would like evaporate whatever it does in 30 seconds or a minute. You can only read it once. And I'll reply to the text if you're accepting this mission. He then went to the cupboard where he stores the adjectives in it. It's going to be a relentless focus, not just focus, not just for one day. It's relentless, day after day, focus, relentless, on a clear set of priorities. Well, it's a misuse of the term priorities. The term is priority. There's only one. You can't have priorities. It's like his football team is Arsenal. You can't have Arsenals. Anyway, small point. Everybody uses it. We all know what it means. It means you put the priorities in order, which then everything becomes a priority. If everything's a priority, then nothing's a priority. But you understand what he means. These are the top 3 priorities. He says we've got to fix the fundamentals, get them fundamentals fixed. Got to have a long-term plan. Didn't say how long a long-term plan is. Is it 6 months, a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, forever? He says, but it's got to be long-term. And we've got to have like a statement of intent. So we've got mission-driven government. Used to have MSG, didn't get it mixed up with MSG if it starts getting abbreviated to MDG. This is mission-driven government, MDG. It's not MSG, like what you hire on your Chinese takeaway stuff. Last year we had LDI, that was liability-driven investments. That was for pensions, where the pension companies needed to have a specific output, so it could pay the pensions. So the liabilities, that's how much we've got to pay out. That's how much we're liable for. So we need to come out with this much. So the investments have got to give with this much, plus our cut. So it all went pear-shaped when the trust mistress got in last year and she did whatever she did. We'll come to trust in a minute or two. He says it's a simple idea, this. Yes. If you go into Accenture or Boston Consultant, they'll complex it up for you and charge you a load of money. But it's a simple idea. He didn't say anything about Accenture. He says we need a strategy, a framework, and a compass. Shit, how much stuff are we going to be carrying? A compass, and here's my framework, and here's my book of strategy. And he's been watching Apollo 13, the picture that is. Tom Cruise not in that one. That other bloke's in it. It's in all them pictures. American lad. But then again, it was Americans on Apollo 13. That was the one that had a bit of an accident when the cryogenic tank exploded, on the one that we took on. He says it's what is a mission critical for the government. I was just thinking we're getting into the realms of consultant management consultant speak. Next will be coming with, at this moment in time, and circling back, granularity. What's it? All them other ones. Paradigm check. I can hear them all coming. Mission critical, apparently. It's got to be mission critical. Basically, what that means, if it's not critical, if you didn't need it for the mission, we shouldn't be doing it. You'll be amazed at how much stuff the government can shove in that will be mission critical and stuff like that. Basically, it's superfluous, anything, but it's also mission critical. Some elements on the Apollos had redundancy built in, and you could only attempt a lunar landing if you had a certain volume of oxygen, certain volume of hydrogen, because that's what drove the engines. And that's what the cryo tanks were for. If you'd lost so much oxygen or lost so much hydrogen, you couldn't attempt a landing because it was deemed unsafe. So those elements were mission critical. How he's going to apply that to the government is defence mission critical? Okay, how much defence? Is social security mission critical? What's mission critical, what's not? I think he's heard the term, it's a nice term. I think it's exceedingly difficult to apply it to governments rather than to mechanical, electrical systems and stuff like that. And especially moon landings where it's quite a clear objective. You can use the same principles, I don't disagree with it. I think he's losing people if he goes down this route. He then got on to giving the kicking to the Whitehall people. He says, we need a clarity that'll ruffle some fellas across Whitehall. Ooh. You know, you cannot work from home. Whatever. And I didn't get into detail. Basically, it's the age-old thing. Blame the civil service, blame Whitehall. You know, they're a bunch of tossers. They'll not do what we are telling them. Is there some people like that in Whitehall? Yeah, undoubtedly. Is there some good, hard-working people in Whitehall? Yeah, undoubtedly. How you sort them out and stuff like that, I'm unsure. I think most governments have a difficulty working with them and stuff like that. I don't think it's a main thing in a political speech. It's just there to give solidarity, you know, all these people in Whitehall holding the back. He says businesses the whole country needs to change. We need certainty and change. What? Certainty and change. His words, not mine. He says we need certainty and change. What? But if it's certain, okay, so we're certain it's going to change. He says we need stability. We need stability. I'll take a drink of water. He says we need stability and success. Okay. We need to plan for today for a more secure future. Okay, I agree with all of the stuff he's saying. But they're just adjectives. Wouldn't it be great if it was a sunny day? Yay. How hot? Can I tell you? It's 60 hot, but it is to some people. What about 70? Oh, it's pretty good. What about 80? We use people in centigrade land, you know, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. How hot's hot? What's certainty? What's success? How do you measure it? Same again, I'm being hard on it. This is just a political speech, just throwing out there these new terms, introducing you to the missions, bringing you on board, you know, then pledges. I'm not mentioning them pledges, out the window. Got the new missions. These new missions, we've polished them up. They're really, really smart. They're in chrome. Or just bright plastic. Look, you can't do plastic and plastic like things. Hydrocarbons. Wood, yeah. We've got them 5 missions made out of wood. He says there's even more previous. Britain needs to be on the front foot. Even more. So, can't read me notes. Even more so now, Britain, compared with previously, Britain needs to be on the front foot to get its future back. Which I thought was nonsensical, because there's always a future. It's whether the future will be a success. How do you measure it? Good. How do you measure it? Good for whom? How do you measure that? He's saying the needs for the future, like the future's there. It's whether the future's good for people, or maybe it's not so good or bad for people. But he's wanting to change, be stable, be a success, planning for today, and more secure future. Okay, I kind of disagree with it. But it just sounded nonsensical, like talking about this future without stating, a better future. Okay, better future. You put that term on it, people can just wander off and think what they want. Oh, better future, I'll have a pony. Yeah, maybe little lasses seem to like ponies and stuff like that. Other people like unicorns, like the people in Brexit land. Oh. He says there's 5 national missions. We don't want to give people too many missions. They'll get mission sickness or mission creep, and missions. Before we know where we are, there'll be 10 missions, 15, 20. We kind of handle that. We're just going to stick with 5. And they're going to be laser targeted. He's using new technology there. Light emission by the stimulated emission radiation. That's what laser is. It's going to be laser targeted, like one of them pens, with the laser pens. I haven't got one like this. Like people do them in presentations. You see a little red dot moving across the screen. It's going to be laser focused. I'm not too sure it's like them laser bombs on them planes. But the missions are going to be laser focused. Targeted. Major targeted on the problem of things. He says we've got to get to the root cause. He's definitely been with the management people. Definitely. He says we've got to get to the root causes for those gardeners. And failure mode analysis people. He says it's got to be new thinking. That old thinking was rubbish. We need new thinking and we need new solutions. Them old solutions were rubbish. We want solutions, but new solutions. We want thinking, new thinking. New. And they're going to come with clear, measurable outcomes. He says we don't want people gaming the system. And we don't want them messing around with statistics just to game the system. You'll more than likely have heard it in relation to things in the Aussie service. You're supposed to, in casualty, E&E, supposed to be seen within a certain number of hours. I think it was 4 hours. So many hours on a trolley, so many hours stuff. So people then got shunted into corridors because they weren't in there. or they got left on ambulances. If you leave somebody in an ambulance, then the time doesn't start because they're not actually in the huzzy. That's gaming the system. How you do it, you're going to have an uphill thing. Says we've got to be ambition, and we've got to have ambitions that won't be overtaken by the future. That's impossible to say, and that's, to my mind, it's a ridiculous statement. You don't know what the future is, so you can't say, but he's just saying ambitions. He's just saying what ambitions shouldn't be overtaken by the future. That's fine. But what about your missions and your pledges and your goals? Can they be overtaken by the future? We'll get halfway down one of these missions and find out there's something else that should be a higher priority. Do we just blithely keep banging away at this mission? That's the difficulty. What he's trying to say, we'll have a stable thing, that these missions are so big, everybody can agree them and will walk down or go drive towards them, wherever. But I'm being a bit hard on him there. Says won't be overtaken by the future. Okay. He says some people might think some of these things that I'm suggesting are too bold. He says some people might have a sharp intake of breath when they hear these missions. And I just thought, I don't think so, but anyway, keep going. He says people will be questioning, could this really be done? I think you're going to have a lot of people saying, no, that'll not get done. I thought it was a dumb question to ask, like, but it's his speech. He says, zero carbon Britain. What he means by that is zero carbon electricity, not power. Because when I first heard that, I thought, oh, he means zero carbon by 2030. That's impossible in my mind, unless something dramatic changes. That's only 6 or 7 years away, and you're only going to be in power for maybe 5 or 6. Or how are you going to do that? Well, the power station's there. Okay. Just shut all the gas ones down. Okay. How many windy mills are you going to have to build to make up for that? Because basically in the UK, you're only looking at hydro, wood chip in windy mills. The thermal kind of caper, unless something drastic happens in the next few years. Or solar, oh, forget it, come on now. But then I realized he was just talking about the Alecki. He's only talking about the Alecki. Okay, you can get rid of the gas. Okay, the bulk of the gas goes to people's central heating. They've got this schemes they're trying to push for these where you bury little cables in your back garden. If you're fortunate to have a back garden, I'm not too sure if you're on the 15th floor, what you're going to do, how far the cables will have to go down, you know, with the water pumping around, with a big fan outside your house running 24/7. When the temperature is close to zero most nights over the winter time. Then Britain's going to be clean energy superpower.